Welcome to Subramani. This is not a video for the typical audience which comes to Subramani, but it could be useful for some of your friends. Some of your friends who are struggling to save money and invest it, right? It's not very uncommon to find people who are struggling with their day-to-day expenses. Sometimes you find, especially if you have good control on your expenses, you find what the hell is happening, right? But there are people like that. They would be living paycheck to paycheck, and anything in their life is a financial emergency, whether it is a windshield of their car being broken. Do they need a car itself? Can't they use public transport? I'm not getting into it. Or somebody falling ill and they have to go immediately, so they have to buy a plane ticket right at the highest prices, and they don't have 30,000 rupees to shell out, so that goes into an EMI, so they keep borrowing. So when you keep borrowing and you have a lifestyle which is beyond your means, that is why you borrow, right? Whatever it is, whether it is buying some 10 t-shirts or 5 t-shirts, everything is about living beyond your means, and therefore you have to borrow, right? The old Hindi song, it's there in Tamil also, is Amdani Athani Kharcha Rupaya. When you earn 50 paise and you spend a rupee, this happens. So largely, I'm not being judgmental as to whether you should not, etc. I'm trying to say there is one concept called pay yourself first. Pay yourself first means for all your own needs you prioritize. So you get 100 rupees, you're putting away 5 rupees for your retirement, 3 rupees for your children's education, or 8 rupees for your children's education, children's marriage, buying a bigger house. You put away all that on the first of the month, because that is paying yourself first. You have to prioritize yourself, because even in the future, all that is for you, right? The retirement money that you're accumulating is for yourself. The not touching that for a long period of time, saving transaction costs, saving tax, is for yourself. So you are paying yourself first. So you should be able to do that first, so that your money goes away for all those priorities. If you are not putting enough energy and money into your goals, then these are not goals. What you're doing is just some time pass, right? So that is what you should be doing. Do that, and that is the way you pay yourself first. So what is pay yourself first means you get your salary on the first, and on the second all this is paid for. Your retirement fund is gone, this is gone, that is gone. You have 5 mutual funds where you're putting X amount every month, so that's all gone. So why should you do it immediately? First, to avoid the temptation of spending it, of seeing the money there. Unfortunately, what has also happened is today you don't have to see the money there to spend. You've got a credit card, you spend on it, and after 30 days it comes and debits your account. So people do that. So people, those who do not prioritize, or those who are unable to control their spending, should stay away from credit cards. Yes, have a credit card by all means, but keep it at home, so that you use it for some online purchases, etc. But it's not available. You can't just flash it and buy something. You're walking past, you see a thing beyond your budget, you say, oh, I have a card, so let me buy it. That impulsive buying goes down by staying away from a credit card. Don't carry the credit card. I carry 2 credit cards. I'm never tempted, and I've got huge limits also in the cards. But to me it doesn't matter, because I will not be spending that money even though I have a card, right? So I will not be doing that. So for my case it is different, but in case you can't control, stay away from your credit card, right? Putting money away for all your own goals creates a habit of saving. So it is important that children are taught saving right from a young age. You get 100 rupees pocket money, save 10. When I say 100, I just mean a number, right? It could be 100, it could be 1000, it could be 5000. Teach the children to put away a little bit into some mutual fund or something. Also do an SIP in the child's name, so that the child sees the money there and knows that he or she cannot touch it till they're 18. You will have to remove it and give. So when they have that, and then you ask them that should I remove some money from here for your needs, and they'd say no, that's my money, don't remove it, my education will be impacted. Kids do that. right? So that's a great way to teach people to be good to their money. So while you're saving and investing your children's needs, you can do a small SIP, maybe 5,000 rupees for each child, and growing it at 10%, and so that they can see the power of compounding and see why certain things are being denied. When they say let us go to this hotel, you can say, look, either I go to a hotel or during Diwali I buy you a bigger gift, right? So choosing, making them choose, this is important. When I say pay yourself first, it includes teaching your children how to pay themselves first, right? So that's and once you start doing this, what happens is your children also can see the power of interest or growth and compounding growth. Like for example, at end of 1 year your child knows mathematics, so you say you remember we put 5,000 rupees every month, so how much should be there, and the kid says, oh, it should be 60,000. Then you show the kid that it is 63,000. Obviously your kid is going to ask, who put this extra 3,000? You tell them, look, this is growth in the market, this is what happened, and this is power of compounding. Now this 3,000 will also grow, so next year we will put maybe only another 60, so 60 plus 60, 120, and it could be 6 more or 8 more, depends on how the market is performing. So teaching them is also important in this. And one more thing which pay yourself first just is it empowers you into buying things without paying interest. So if you want a fridge or a washing machine, the prices have come down pretty dramatically, but let us say you want to buy a fridge for 50,000 rupees. Can you go and borrow and buy? Of course you can go, flash your card, buy it, or the shop itself will have some, just sign a form, show your PAN card and your check, and 50,000 rupee fridge is delivered in your house. But it is much better if you can save away 4,000 rupees per month in an RD or 5,000 rupees per month in an RD for 1 year. Learn to live with your old fridge. It actually empowers you. At that stage, you're paying cash, you might get a discount, right? So all those things happen. So it actually empowers you into while your day-to-day living, and that's also very useful. So what all should you do? First of all, you should prioritize your SIP payments, which could include PPF. There is no great advantage of PPF anymore because ATC is actually gone. Because most people would anyway shift to the second new regime, so there is no ATC. But whatever are your investments, make sure that it happens 1 day or 2 days after you get your salary. If you are in a very good company where you know that the salary will come on the 31st of every month or the 30th of every month or the 1st of every month, plan your SIPs on the 2nd, or plan it on the 2nd because the money may come, or plan it on the 3rd because sometimes when 1st is a Sunday and your check hits your bank on a Monday, which is the 2nd, you don't want the checks of your SIP to go back, and it's very expensive to send back those checks because the bank charges are pretty high. So having done that, make sure that you automate all your monthly, even if you want to leave some balance in an account which could be a joint account between you and your spouse. If you're a woman who is watching, let's say 5,000 rupees from the husband's account and 5,000 rupees from the wife's account is going to an account. Keep putting the money there and withdrawing from there for expenses. So your salary account you use for investment, for your expenses you shift to another savings bank account, which is a joint account between husband and wife, and keep all the money for expenses there, and make sure that all the telephone bill, electricity bill, everything is paid from there. Every month, January husband pays, February wife pays, from the same account, same card, everything is same, but both of you learn how to make the payments, and it shouldn't happen. The wife says, oh, don't travel, these bills have to be paid. That shouldn't happen, and there are people who do that, who can't make online payments. This is ridiculous. I think you should be able to add a beneficiary, remove a beneficiary. Removal is not as important, but at least adding a beneficiary and all that, you should be able to do it, right? So automate your SIPs, automate your PPF, right, all that. So so what would be the other implementation strategies that you could have? If you have very clear goals, you sit with your spouse, let's say you're the husband who is watching, you sit with your spouse and say, 3 years from now when we want to go to Singapore, we need so much money, so I'm putting this in a multi-asset fund or into any debt fund or whatever, and we will have this much. Suppose we don't have that much money after 3 years, remember, we will postpone our Singapore trip by 6 months or 1 year. Now certain goals like your daughter's 12th standard or your son's 12th standard will happen at a particular date. Maybe it is 2029, maybe it is 2034, whatever. But your trip to Singapore can be, it can be postponed or even preponed. Market has done very well. The corpus which you were accumulating for your Singapore trip came in 2 years instead of 3 years. By all means, go take your vacation, right? So when you have clear goals and your whole family has clear goals, you know that you will not change the priorities. Then your child says, oh dad, this TV is old, we need a new TV. Then you tell the child, TV or Singapore trip postponed. Then the kid says, no, I'll live with this, I want to go to Singapore or whatever. I mean, whatever location that you can think of. Automate as much as possible. You should not have to think, like even if you want to buy one particular share every month, right? You can do an automatic SIP today. All brokerage accounts allow you to do that. So go and say on the 10th of every month, please buy me 10 shares, 20 shares, 200 shares, whatever. It allows you to stay disciplined. Of course, there are people who lack discipline who will go and break the mutual fund. But I'm assuming that you will be smart enough to stay disciplined, because the advantage of staying disciplined, I've done videos on that, is that after some time your portfolio looks so good that even if you do nothing, it will do very well, simply because of in the past you have done so well with your working life, earning, disciplined investing, etc. That's important. Thank you.